Hello, welcome to the unplanned, unprepared, unpredictable, and sometimes unpleasant podcast.
Unpleasant. That's
Unpleasant.
wild.
Not for the
Why?
listeners. Not for the listeners, probably.
For you? For you?
I feel tired. I felt tired last week. I feel tired this week. Anyway,
We didn't record last week.
I know, but when I was actually at my house ready to record, but when it was time to start, I was like, I can't do this right now. I
Yeah.
and I feel similarly today. But
Oh,
anyways, we our podcast, we talk for an hour and we have no idea what we're going to talk about. So welcome to this journey that we will be on together.
you know what's
No,
impressive
I'm
is
I
that
no, I am one of your hosts,
okay.
Jerome. Jerome,
Okay.
Jerome. And my co-host, his name today will be.
Tomato paste.
I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna say your name.
Tomato paste.
All right, how
Bro.
about we shorten it to tomato? Tomato's all right.
Okay, fine.
All right.
All right, tomato. All right.
What's up,
You know what's
Tom?
funny?
Yeah.
The concept of tomato paste is really interesting to me.
Oh God,
Right?
is this like a joke, or
No, no,
you're being
no. Like,
serious? Okay.
no, being serious. So you think about the food pyramid, kind of like what we should be eating.
Hey, you're dating
And
yourself. I think we no longer have a food pyramid. I think it's something else.
or whatever.
Okay.
But there was a food pyramid.
Uh,
Like the right type of pizza, like a Hawaiian pizza, right? It covers, I think, every part of the food pyramid. There's
what's in a
grain, and
Hawaiian pizza?
so the pizza with cheese and pineapple and ham.
Ham. There's no vegetables. What's the
The
tomato?
tomato paste. Yeah.
Isn't tomato a fruit?
Is it considered a fruit in that sense? I thought classification wise, sure, but in terms of actual food, isn't tomato a vegetable?
I don't know what you mean by any of that.
Like, does
Hey man, you're
it
pretty
does
loud
it?
today. Why are you so loud right now? It's like,
I'm using
huh?
I'm using a different mic.
Holy God. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
lower. You're supposed to be the sound
No,
tech.
listen, but you gotta let me know. I
Yeah.
can't believe you're using a different mic and not telling me.
Wait,
That's
we literally did sound check before you hit record.
I know,
I
and
did. You said,
I was just checking that I could hear you. That's all I was
dude,
checking
it's
for.
crazy. This is how unprepared we are.
No,
Even in
you.
our preparation, we don't prepare.
Excuse me?
That's
No, no, no.
crazy.
I none of my variables have changed. But anyways, and I would have let you know. But tomato, I think it has seeds and it's not green.
But do tomatoes ever appear in like a fruit platter? Tomatoes, maybe.
They are sometimes served with fruit.
That almost
Yeah.
never. Cherry tomatoes appear in vegetable platters.
You know, cherry tomatoes are actually quite sweet and delicious. So,
But my point stands.
no,
A
but it's not
pizza,
about flavor. Okay, but I don't know. I don't classification. Okay. Let me
any
pull up a food pyramid.
anyhow, the pizza, a Hawaiian pizza, should be like the ultimate food, right?
If because it has bread, dairy, meat, fat, oils and sweets, vegetables. Okay, so in this picture tomato is with vegetable. And fruit,
Exactly.
pineapple. Pineapple. Okay. Okay,
Mhm.
and it's shaped like a triangle. Okay.
Literally the ultimate food, pizza.
Okay. What's your point?
I'm just saying it's interesting. But it's like generally pizza is considered an unhealthy food, but it covers every group in the food pyramid. So is that why we don't use it anymore? It's has it been debunked, the food pyramid?
I think healthy is like the proportions and well, yeah, probably debunked. I do think it's yeah, they don't use it anymore because it's bad because you probably there's people who shouldn't have any bread and bread is the biggest piece on a food pyramid. Yeah. Anyway, the reason you shouldn't have the reason pizza's unhealthy is not because it has a variety of categories. It's because of the oil and fat and stuff. It's got a lot of calories per square inch. Hello?
Interesting. Hey, can you give me 1 second? I'll be right back. You
Ooh.
do like a mini monologue.
Okay.
Unpredictable.
All right. So I okay. You know a kind of meat that I'm interested in eating. I don't have a lot of experience eating duck. I think duck is a very common meat, but I don't think I've had it maybe 2 3 times in my life. That's like once a decade. Which I don't know. Where is it? Where do you get it? Chinese food restaurants? Like I guess I don't eat enough Chinese food. But duck is definitely not a meat that I see a lot of, but I would like to eat a lot more of it. Like my meat consumption is pretty boring. Chicken, cow, and what's the other one? Pork. I don't even eat that much pork, but I want to eat more. You know what I had recently? Well, not like super recent, but maybe like a month ago. I had deer meat hamburgers or like deer meat patties, and we ate it like a hamburger, and I actually enjoyed it very thoroughly. I was told
Isn't
that.
deer really
Whoa.
gamey?
So, I was actually just about to talk about that. So a lot of people do say deer meat is more lean, like a lot less fat, so it's a little tougher. But these hamburger patties were mixed with like onions and seasoning and things, and cooked pretty well, and it was super soft, like softer than normal hamburgers. And I like I think hamburgers. There's not a unique flavor to the meat, but deer definitely there is a
Hmm.
noticeable difference, which I enjoyed.
Is this deer that you hunted or
No, someone else
you
did. So
just bought?
somebody I know, or it's like a friend of a friend, but this person goes hunting like once a year, kills a thing, and then has meat for the entire year. So
Wow.
you drain the blood and you take it to a place, and they'll cut it up for you and make it into ground beef and steaks and stuff. So you have a whole year of meat from one kill, which I mean, probably you save money too, a lot of money.
I, Wait, that's crazy. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, a year. Like,
I don't
how
know,
is that defined?
uh, 12
Like
months.
you're eating I'm not no, I mean like are you eating meat? Are you eating that meat every day? Like
I'm
all
sure
three
it's
meals a day?
no way. Okay, so you probably can't. I mean, if you eat up half a pound a day, a third of a pound a day, it'd be
Hmm.
100 pounds a year, right? No. Whoa.
Oh,
Maybe you can almost get 100 pounds of like
oh,
if depending on
probably
how
could.
big it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If it weighs like a
Dang.
couple 100 pounds at least, I'm sure half of it has to be, or anyway. No, but I think he eats a normal amount of meat, like regular people eat cow and other things, and he just instead of cow, he uses deer.
Interesting.
Yeah, deer steaks,
Yeah.
deer ground beef. Yeah,
What? Man, I wonder how much a single cow costs.
a whole
Because
cow.
how much does a cow weigh? And like, how much meat can you get off a cow?
Oh man, we're going crazy tonight. Okay, here we go.
What do you mean?
So, okay,
What?
I think we need to know average weight of cow, right? Okay.
No, how about average weight
No,
of meat available on the
no,
cow?
no. So we have to know average weight of a cow and what percentage of. Oh, I guess you could look up how
Sure.
much meat you get out of an average cow, but guess how much
Yeah.
an average cow weighs?
900 pounds.
1,100 pounds.
Dang.
That's
That was my.
that seems like a lot. No wonder you can't.
It is.
So if you tip over a cow, it can't get up. Is that a myth?
I think that is a myth.
Okay, but if it's dead,
I
you
don't think
definitely
they.
can't pick it up. Huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, if a cow dies on your lawn, then it's rotting there
You
forever.
have
Unless
no,
you.
you have to cut it up and eat it. Like
Yeah, you have to eat it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
if a you know what a funny prank would be, pushing a cow into a vegetarian's yard and killing it. Wait, is that against some kind of law?
I,
What laws would?
I would
It's like a really
think
nice
so.
gift. I mean, but which ones? Which law
Hmm.
is it against? Animal cruelty?
I
Is that
think
a thing?
it's probably that. Also, probably unhygienic, and also probably trespassing.
No, no, no. I'm shooting it while I'm not on your property. Or bow and arrow. Okay, you can't shoot guns too close to houses. But if
Mhm.
I accidentally shoot a bow and arrow at a cow and it like slowly dies.
Interesting.
I mean, like it's not cow slaughter, like manslaughter. If you accidentally kill a person, it's against the law. Like I accidentally killed a like people accidentally kill animals every day. Yeah,
Man, hey, we should. Don't you have some lawyer friends we can ask about this?
I
We should
I'm
ask.
I'm not right now. Today, I'm not sure about
Uh,
today. Okay, average weight of a cow. So average weight of meat from a cow. Here we go. A 1,200 pound beef animal will yield a hot carcass weight of approximately 750 pounds. What?
what does
Oh,
hot
so
carcass mean?
if when you cut it up while it's warm, I guess it's 750
Mhm,
pounds. After it gets cooler, it's about so it loses like 20 pounds of weight.
mhm,
When deboned and
mhm.
trimmed, so about 500. So less than 50% of a cow's weight. A little less than 50% is actual meat.
Dang, that's still a lot. Like 550 pounds? That could definitely feed you. That's like more than enough meat for a year. Like
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
you're doing like a carnivore diet.
Yeah. Like, yeah. A pound a day. I don't know. If you only had meat every day, pound a day, sure. Yeah, okay. So average weight of deer,
Hey, what's the conversion from ounce to pound? Do you know?
16 ounces is a pound, right?
Oh, so that's like a big steak, right?
What did you 16 ounce? Like a pound of
Oh,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a 12 ounce is a
12
big
ounce.
steak.
Yeah, I have like less than 10 ounces. I feel like I don't need a lot of meat, but
Like a nice filet mignon would be like 9 ounces or
average
six
weight of
ounces.
deer. Why is it so hard? It should be the first thing that pops up. A buck can weigh
Wow.
up to 280 to 290 pounds.
Wait, so to bring this to conclusion,
No. We're gonna
you
keep
can.
talking about this.
No.
Why is there a conclusion?
Well, let me just close the loop here.
I don't want the loop.
When
Hey,
no,
hey.
I'm gonna close
I
a
don't.
loop, not
Okay.
the
I
loop.
don't
Okay.
consent. Okay, go ahead. You want to talk about
If
consent?
you
That's a
can,
crazy thing too. Anyways, go ahead.
if you can somehow lure or trick a cow into a vegetarian's yard,
Yeah.
and then you use a bow and arrow to kill the cow,
Mm.
you're condemning that vegetarian to at least a year's worth of
Well, okay.
eating.
So they can probably just give it away, but
True.
but it would still. Whoa, you know what? Maybe like there is a house somewhere that are veg. Oh, like those off-grid houses. I'm sure some of those people are vegetarians, and I mean they can't. Like the nearest thing, I'm sure it's pretty far away, couple hours away. So if I lead a very elderly cow, like on the brink of death, into that vegetarian's yard, the off-grid house. I think they would have to be forced to eating it. But if a vegetarian knew it died of natural causes, why wouldn't they be okay with eating that?
Well, a vegetarian doesn't eat meat, right? Does it? I don't think it matters
Well,
how they die.
because it's cruel to animals, not because they prefer the taste of just vegetables.
Is that
Usually,
true? Then that's kind of crazy if that's true. I
what?
don't think that's true. Because if that were true, I feel like there would be way more like natural cause death meat on the market,
I feel like
right?
there aren't that many vegetarians. I don't know any. I don't know any
What
currently
do
in
you
my
mean? Like,
life.
well, do you know any like anybody from like India, like the Hindus?
Oh no.
Oh, see, well, I guess that's more religious, so maybe that's a little different. No, but if you're a meat producer, I think an untapped part of the market is meat for natural cause death meat
It
for
would probably be
vegetarian.
too expensive because you have to raise a cow until it dies.
You just leave it, but if you leave it in a cage and then just don't feed it for a couple of days, that isn't that considered natural cause?
I
You're
think
not killing it.
no. I think vegetarians wouldn't eat that because it's more cruel than a slaughterhouse
You're right.
of starvation,
What?
and they would lose mass.
Mm. Ah, this is true.
That's a terrible. Why? You're a pretty smart guy. That's just a terrible thought. It's
Huh.
it okay. It okay. Anyways,
Because I'm sure there are cows that die of natural causes.
You'd have to prove it, and maybe there aren't. Like there are people who raise cows usually raise them for meat or milk, and probably almost
Yeah.
none of them die
So
from natural causes.
so those milk cows, once they like dried up, and then they just kind of live their life, and then they die. Yeah.
I don't, they probably, it's like I'm sure there's an age where meat starts to be awful and like the cows are killed before then. Because milk also probably, there's a lifetime, right? To when cows stop producing it. Like there's like a limit to it. Gotta be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So as
Okay.
soon as the milk
Okay.
dries, I'm sure they turn into meat. Wait,
Dang.
all of this is real depressing.
Cows are. Can you imagine? Like, you take the hide off a cow, make a leather chair.
Uh-huh.
You take the bones out of it to make like a carcass made table, and then you get the meat off the meat. And aren't there some dishes where you like marinate the meat in milk? Maybe like a what's like tonkatsu, the German version of tonkatsu.
I have no idea. But
But
chicken, if you marinate it in cream, it gets real soft. So
something like
yeah,
that.
no
You
either.
do that with steak.
Uh-huh.
Man, you're like using every part of that cow.
What's your point? You think you can make a table out of cow bones? Like, is there enough flat surface?
Well, you don't need a flat surface.
Huh?
Like the ribs, right? Take all the ribs and you kind of line it up. It could be like a
Oh,
kind of
that
like a
sounds like a
bumpy table.
really terrible table.
Yeah, but so okay. The reason why I think about stuff like that is I have this question I like asking people,
Hmm.
and the question is, if you had if you were gonna be stranded on an island that's inhabited by just one animal, and the choices of the animal is chicken, cow, or pig, which would you prefer? Yeah, which would you prefer?
Cows are probably the easiest to catch and kill.
But the cows can also probably hurt you much more than like a pig or a chicken can, right? Like a stampede of cows could probably would kill you, but a stampede of chickens would scratch you up, but you wouldn't die.
Are cows
And then like
fast?
I mean, like in Lion King when Mufasa dies, isn't that like a distant relative of a cow? Oh, wildebeest. They're
Okay,
wildebeests.
but
Never mind.
they don't. I don't. Okay, we can just look it up. How fast is a
No,
cow?
but no, but these aren't like domesticated cows. These are cows that just live out in the open, wild cows.
25 miles per hour. So that's definitely faster than most people. Chickens are actually nine miles per hour. Wait, chickens are a lot slower than I thought they would be. Why are they so hard to catch? Oh, on average, cows can run 17 miles per hour with a maximum speed of 25. Oh, they can run in short bursts, but not continuously. They cannot run for a long time. Yeah.
So like no, but the point is if they charge at you at that speed, like that could seriously injure you. So I don't know. There's more danger there, I think.
This is kind of a silly question. It's like too silly.
What? No. It makes you think about the utility of the whole animal, right? So like with chickens, you can use the feathers, make like a pillow or something. There's like eggs that come with it, and then there's
Ooh.
obviously the meat, you know. With a cow, there's milk, there's like leather hide, there's like the advantage of a big carcass that you could possibly use for building structures. With a pig, kind of like it's the middle ground between like not too small like a chicken, but also not too big like a cow. There's bacon. There's a lot of like
Hey man, are you
oils you can
high?
get out of it. What? What?
You smoke some weed today?
Why?
What do you mean? You just sound
I've actually never been high in my
kind of
life.
silly. Okay, why you? Okay,
No,
like,
these are
uh-huh.
no, these are like creative exercises. Like to think outside of the box.
I wasn't
Because
listening about pig. What did you say about pig?
no, I'm saying like pig, it's a middle ground between like a large animal that can put you in danger versus an animal that's so small that you can't really get utility out of their carcasses. But
Can you
anyways,
get leather out of pigs? Pig skin?
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, footballs, old school footballs were
Pig
made out
skin?
of pigskin or something like that, right? Like their bladder or something like that. Anyways, this is
Hey,
just a.
why did you get a new
Huh?
mic?
This isn't a new. Okay. So remember how I had to leave earlier for a second?
Mm-hmm.
My wife is out and my two kids are in the other room, like trying to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So my usual setup is in the downstairs office,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm upstairs on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Because
That's why I'm just using a different mic.
all
Yeah.
right, it does not sound good.
We're
It's too
we're
late now.
21 minutes in.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I
you're
know.
just now
Listen, it was
telling me?
tolerable for like 10 minutes. Now, like 20 minutes, it's like. It kind of sounds like that. Anyway, it's too late. It is what it is. Okay, so
Wait, are you sure? Are you
huh?
sure that's not an issue on your side? Like
Like on
your
my
volume?
speakers.
Yeah, or like the volume setting that you have.
The volume is not too bad, but there every time you talk, there is a little bit of extra noise in the background. It's not a clean sound, but it's all right. Hey, you know what? But it's not okay because on our YouTube page, we have like here. Let me go look at it. We have like 18 subscribers. I think that actually blows my mind
You know, some of our shorts get like 1,000 views.
on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's okay. This is the unpredictable nature of this podcast. You never really know.
UPTHREEPODCAST up three podcast on all our different things. So please go look us up. UPTHREEPODCAST up three podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, clip that. Somebody clip that. Okay, so yeah, we have 18 subscribers. Ah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. You know, Mr. Beast broke 400 million. That's insane.
빨리 들어가. 아빠 이거 해야 돼. 아빠 이거 해야 돼. 빨리 가. 빨리
Hey,
가,
hey,
선아.
man.
빨리. 아니야, 빨리 가. 빨리 가. 빨리 가. 아빠 팟캐스트 하고
Hey,
있어요.
kick your children out of
빨리
the
가.
house. Hello?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What the?
What do you
Can
mean?
you hear me right now?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Oh, you know, I wonder if my mic's not on the proper setting.
this actually sounds better than what you were
This
using.
sounds better?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, my child was here. Sorry.
Anyways, it's all right. What did we talk about before? Oh my gosh, the deer? We went
No,
into
the Mr. Beast, 400
I
million
mean, sure, but I mean
subscribers.
that's just a random thought I had. But what we were talking about
Yeah.
something really interesting, and then you try to close the loop. You close the loop by,
No, we're talking. Yeah, we're talking about how much meat you can get off a cow.
and then we're gonna talk about deers,
Yeah.
cows, deers. I was very interested in talking more about what we were just. Okay, let's try to go back and
Wait.
continue.
Were you interested in talking about killing a cow on someone's yard? Because that was like the last thing we talked about.
I mean, that is very interesting. Oh, so like yeah, we have to make it work. We'd have to. So how do we force? Oh,
No,
natural
hold on.
causes. Yeah, the meat market for
Can I
natural
veto?
causes. Veto
Can
what?
I can I veto this? I feel like we're beating a dead cow.
No, wait, but
We've gotten
and then
we've
we're.
gotten all hold on. We've gotten all utility out of this topic.
Are you
Let's
sure?
move on.
Wait. What about
Let's talk about the subscribers.
the market for
Hey, we have
animals
we
that
have
die of natural causes? Hey, I thought that was a very interesting thing. Well,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
just
honestly, it doesn't work. Like everybody can
okay.
tell immediately it doesn't work. But Because yeah.
Yeah, shout
Okay.
out.
All right. All right. What? 18 subscribers?
Yeah, we have 18 subscribers on YouTube. A lot of our shorts are getting like thousands of views.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite comment on one of our things is?
What?
Somebody commented, it should be harder to get podcast equipment than a gun. I thought that was so funny. I laughed out loud.
Because we're more harmful than guns.
I guess. I guess that's the implication. It's so absurd and
Let
kind
me
of
think.
clever and funny at the same time.
Well, but this person obviously does not understand the point of the podcast. And then you are just ignorant and stupid. But thank you for the comment. Either way, I actually recently did buy a new gun, and it was quite easy. I bought it from a seller in Texas, like a gun store, and they shipped it to me here in southeastern state, a Republican southeastern state, and they shipped it to me. It took like a week to get here. I went into the so you have to send it to a different gun store, and they have to do a background check on you. I was in there for 10, 15 minutes, and they gave me a gun that has 3 magazines, holds 20 rounds each, so 60 rounds, and it's a monster.
Hey, that's actually not that easy. I thought the guy just shipped it to you.
Awesome.
Isn't it?
Well, I you know what? But in some states here in the southeast, I could sell this gun, and no background check. If it's a private sale.
Huh.
I mean, we talked about that before, but
We did.
anyways, yeah, yeah, a lot. We talked about that a lot. That's one of the biggest annoying things that I think that
Yeah.
like I get that the government doesn't want to be in that, but I can sell this to somebody with a felony for like $1,000, and I think I could get that. Like I could easily keep buying. Whoa! I wonder if the government will be like, man, this guy keeps buying guns like every week, every day, like 100 a month. I'm sure
Hmm.
eventually somebody would say something.
Yeah.
But in some states, you don't have to do a background check for a private sale, and if they do something bad with that gun, it's not your fault. Isn't that crazy? I think there's no accountability. But yeah, I'll send you a picture of my gun. It's a beast. I haven't shot it yet, but I'm very excited to shoot it.
So what's your plan with that gun? What are you gonna do with it?
Shoot it. What do you mean? I'm gonna be the next John Wick.
Is it like home defense? Is it for
Oh,
sport? Like,
sport and also home defense. Yes, yes,
mm,
and well, everywhere defense. So I
mm.
have a
You're
smaller
gonna be,
gun that I carry, but I just want to
mm,
keep this in my car because like if I ever need if anything something serious goes down, I'm gonna want this right away.
mm. Wait, which gun is it?
It's a Walther PDP Pro X. You can Google it. Actually, you can just Google it. And I have a flash. I just bought a flashlight on it recently.
Okay.
But it's a 4.6-inch barrel, but it has a compensator in the front, so it looks humongous. It's like, wait, do I have a
Wait, you
ruler?
said Walter PDP X Pro?
Pro X.
Pro X.
Okay. So the back of the gun to the
Wow.
very front of the gun, it's a little more than 8 inches long,
Wow.
but it's a lot, and it holds 20 rounds in the magazine.
That's crazy.
I'm holding it right now. Anyway, yeah,
Wow.
like this thing could
That's
do a ton of damage, a ton, and
yeah.
it took me like, yeah, it was. I mean, I haven't broken any laws, and I'm not a felon, and citizen. I'm a citizen of this country, but still, they don't know who I am. They don't know what I want to do with it. And it was very, very
Are
easy.
are you worried that you're kind of putting your business out there? You
No,
might implicate yourself somehow?
oh
No?
no, I haven't broken any laws.
No? Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, people know I own guns.
Hmm.
It's one of my rights as a citizen, right? The second one,
There's a Second Amendment.
the, the guns are the Second Amendment,
No, 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 no. Guns are. Oh,
Bill of Rights.
wait.
Which one?
Right to bear arms amendment.
Eh?
Uh, yo, is protected by this. Oh, yeah, Second Amendment. Yeah,
Wait, so it's
that's
a
the Second
second
Amendment.
thing they changed?
Hmm.
That's a
Yeah,
second
yeah,
thing
yeah.
they forgot to add?
The
Okay.
the second thing that they went back to
Wait,
change.
wait. So the Bill of Rights came first and then amendments came later? Is that how
I
the
think so.
works? That's the Constitution?
Hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Hmm.
Let's look at the Bill of Rights. How many bill?
You
13?
know what the First Amendment is, right?
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, so like freedom of speech wasn't even in the original, and then they went back and like, hey, we should probably add this one.
That actually okay. Let's look at the 13. Okay, here it is. 13 Bill of Rights. Where is it? Let me image. Uh, okay. I want something with cute pictures. I can't. Okay, okay. Here we go. Wait, Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the US Constitution. So the Bill of Rights, it's the first 10 amendments? I'm confused. Wait, so what's the Constitution? Hold on.
Yeah,
What's
so there's like different articles of the Constitution,
Okay, okay, okay.
and I think what me just looking at it, it looks like that's like the structure of what government should look like because it talks about the presidency, the judiciary, the legislative branch.
So, okay, but they didn't think, "Oh, we should add some human rights to this thing" until much later.
Yeah, and then
I
they
see.
did like there's like what is this 27 amendments?
That's a lot of stuff they forgot to add.
Dang, the 16th Amendment is income tax. Should have stopped at 15.
Like the government can take our income. That's
I don't know. Let me look at it.
list of
16th
amendments to the
Amendment.
United States Constitution. The uh
Yeah. So the 16th Amendment gives Congress the power to tax people, income tax. You know what's crazy? So that's the 16th Amendment, right?
mhm.
The 19th Amendment is the woman's right to vote. That came 7 years later.
What year? Wait,
So
when did the wait? What year was that?
women's rights is 1920.
Wait,
Or
when
the
did they
women's right to
start?
vote.
When did they start adding amendments? So amendments happen over a long period of time.
Yeah, so the first one, 19 or 1791. So
Yeah,
like pretty
freedom of
much like
speech.
right at. Mhm.
Okay, that's like 20 years
And
later
there,
almost. Okay, 15. Okay,
like the first 10 all happened in 1791.
okay. So it was like 50, like more than a decade later. Like, you know what? We should add some stuff to this.
No, like more than like centuries later.
What?
Like,
You said 1791, the first
yeah, and
10.
then yeah, that's the first 10, and then in 1920 is when the 19th Amendment is.
That's what I'm saying. So in the 70s, they wrote this stuff, and then like 20 years later, they're like, we should add some stuff to
Oh,
it. That's not a quick.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not quick. That was a while ago. For them, maybe a whole
I mean, you
generation
could
of people. Okay.
no, yeah. Well, you gotta run the government and like you gotta actually start it and then and see what it does and then work out the kinks,
No
right?
quartering of troops. No, but these are things I'm confused. So the Constitution. Okay, okay. You know what? I'm shocked at how little I know about how things work. Hold on. What? Do you know what the Constitution is? You know what? I'm gonna what ChatGPT. Let me talk to ChatGPT. All right. Do you know what the Constitution is?
Yeah, it's the preamble, we the people, that whole thing. And then the first article is the defining the legislative branch. The House of Representatives, Senate, like
Okay, okay,
how
okay.
they
So
get
the
elected and
Declaration
all
of
that.
Independence came first, and then the war came, and after the war, they wrote the Constitution.
Hmm.
Okay.
The, co- have you seen the Hamilton musical?
I saw the first like 30 seconds. I stopped.
Okay, okay, never mind. They
Like,
talk about it
oh,
a little bit.
oh. So if I watch that, I'll have a better grasp of United States history.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. That sounds very okay. What is the Constitution? Here we go. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Fundamental principles, supreme law of the United States of America, written in 1787. Okay. Preamble. Okay. Articles 1 through 3 is government. Yep. States powers is 4 through 7. And then there are amendments, 27 amendments. The first 10 are known as the Bill of Rights. Okay. Supreme law. Why it matters. It limits government power. It protects individual rights. It creates a system of checks and balances so no one branch can. Okay, so it's all the things, all these things, amendments, and okay, that's the Constitution. Let me know if you would like a simpler version of what it just said. It said like 10 things. How's more simple? Okay,
Hey,
simpler version. Yeah,
does my mic sound different?
not right now.
It doesn't sound any different than before.
Before it was bad. Now it's not as bad.
Interesting.
I can still kind of hear
Okay.
the background noise. The psh, it's like
What about now? What about now?
it sounds fine right now. It sounds fine. Yeah, it's not as irritating as it was before, but maybe my ears have become deaf to it.
So, what are you learning about the Constitution?
Okay, so the Bill of Rights. Why is it in cursive? Okay. No quartering of troops. That means search warrants, due process, right to a lawyer. Okay, jury trial. Okay, for civil suits. For civil suits, jury trial. Okay. No cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, that's nice. Rights not enumerated in the Constitution. Oh, okay, so that's sort of like anything that humans should have, they should have. Rights reserved to the states. Okay, suits against states. You can't sue the state. Presidential election procedure abolishes slavery. 13. Okay, due process. What? Due process, equal protection under law, citizenship. Due process is in here twice. Double jeopardy, no self. Anyway, voting rights for African American males. Okay, that's number 15. Income tax, sure. Election of senators. Okay. Alcohol, prohibition of alcohol. 18. That's crazy. Okay. Women's rights. 19. Term dates for presidential. Okay. Repeal of 18. Okay. Okay. That's funny. 21 got rid of 18. Term limits for presidents. That's 22. Oh, that's crazy. Voting rights for District of Columbia prohibits poll taxes. Presidential succession. Vote given to 18-year-olds. Congressional pay raises in
All right. So, how was
27.
your day?
My day.
This is this is kind of boring.
Is it
Let's
to
move
you?
on.
I was
Uh,
very interested in that. Hey, you know what?
huh?
Yeah, it was very. You don't. You know what? You don't know what you don't know. That's actually one of my favorite sayings right now. You don't know
Oh
what you
yeah,
don't know, and a lot of
yeah.
people don't know that they don't know stuff. Like
Mm,
I think a lot of people they operate out of a understanding of you know what everything I know is all I need to know and it's right, which is the
mm.
most incorrect way to think.
Yeah. I think, and it's. I think people sometimes mistake that saying as you don't know what you don't know, as in you're just kind of repeating it twice that you just don't know something, but it's literally you have no knowledge of what things you do not know. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
sounded like you said the same thing twice, like 4 times, I guess.
I know, right? Like
Uh,
as I was saying it, I was like, this sounds the
yeah,
same.
yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
try to fix it.
Yeah. If
No,
you
but
don't
it's
get
like,
it, hey, if you don't get it, you don't know, and you're
oh
just
yeah,
never
you're
gonna
right.
know. Wow, that's crazy too.
If you know, you know, but if you don't, then you don't.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep. Like there's more that you don't know than what you do know. Like so much more.
Because you don't know the things that you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you don't know
Yeah. How much you
what
don't
it
know.
is that you don't
Yeah.
know.
What you don't
Yeah.
know and how much you don't know. Anyways.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah. All the knowledge that a person can have right now, like at any point in time, it probably barely scratches the surface of all the knowledge that is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's bigger than a terabyte? Exobytes?
I
Exobytes of
think
data.
right after terabyte is petabyte.
Oh.
And then after petabyte, I think is
Whoa.
exabyte.
Petabyte sounds crazy.
Oh
Petabyte.
my, dude, can you imagine like you have a file that's like a petabyte big, so you're like, hey,
Oh.
give me the petaphile.
Oh God.
Oh,
God. Hey, that's not funny. I don't sign off on that. I veto that.
oh.
That's
There's
crazy.
a show called The IT Crowd. Have you ever watched it?
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's like a British show. It's really funny. But in England, apparently the way they pronounce pedophile is like pedophile. And there's a guy, this girl, like one of the main characters, dates, and this guy's name is Peter,
Mm.
and his last name is File. So it's like Peter File, and it's very similar to the way that the English people say pedophile.
Like, why would the parents do that to him? Is my
I know, right?
question.
It's I wonder if like the character was like from America or something, so like it's okay in America because if no one says pedophile,
Oh,
it's always yeah,
pizza file.
yeah,
Hmm.
pedophile. Yeah.
Something happened recently that pertains to that. What am I thinking of? Somebody made a joke or something. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, let's not talk about pedophiles anymore.
Have you seen the movie Spotlight?
I think you can just assume the answer is no. Yeah.
You haven't seen Spotlight?
I have no idea what that could be about. Like no idea.
So it's on Amazon Prime. I would go watch it. It's really good.
I don't want to. It sounds very serious. If it's about pedophiles, I have no interest actually.
Let me give you the lineup. Um, Mark Ruffalo's in it. Rachel McAdams. Um, oh shoot, who's the guy who played Batman? The old guy. Oh my gosh, the he
Michael
he's the
Keaton.
Vulture. Yeah, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's in it. Yeah, it's like a really good lineup, and it's about how um a newspaper kind of broke the story of the prevalence of cover up of child abuse there was in the Catholic Church. It's a very fascinating movie. Yeah, you should go watch it.
I deal with a lot of stress and I like my content to be casual and entertaining and fun,
No, but
you know?
it's not like it's not stressful. It's not like the stories you don't see like the abuse happening. It's all about how they kind of it, uncover the covering of how those things happened and how the Catholic Church kind of moved those offenders around to different like geographies to kind of cover up that it happened. It's definitely worth a watch, I think.
Like how do you cover that up? You got to make everybody be quiet.
Yeah, so that's what the movie's about. Like, how did they
Oh.
actually cover it up? I mean, it was the Catholic Church had a lot of power. It was a lot of like, don't you know, like asking the families of the victim to not say anything because they would do more damage than good. You know, all those kind of things. You know.
Well, you know what? I actually
Mhm.
think it makes sense for people to ignore it, even the families of the victims, even the victims themselves, because you rather try to move past it than to make it bigger and more stressful. I feel like
No, but
that.
the
Uh,
hold
what?
on,
Oh,
hold
what?
on. But the argument, I mean, the reason why that was so harmful is because it kept happening and it happened to more people than it should have.
No, absolutely. No, sure. But
Mhm.
if I was a victim, do I want to bring attention to it or make it bigger or keep dealing with it? I probably wouldn't, right? Yeah, and it makes sense to me why people would be more inclined to say nothing than to say a lot.
Sure,
Yeah.
but yeah. No, I totally agree. Kind of on a personal level, that's true.
Uh,
But I think the controversy is that the Catholic Church didn't do anything about it. They simply just moved those priests to like different areas, and then they just kind of
just
acted
kept
like it
doing
didn't
it.
happen. Yeah, well, either they kept doing it, or you know, they other people kept doing it, and no one stopped them.
Why what did it happen so much? Is it like these kinds of people like, or does this job attract those people because, you know, or is it that anywhere where there's a power imbalance, stuff like that just happens?
Well, I think there's in a religious setting, the trust that you have in like a religious leader is pretty elevated, right?
Sure.
Compared to other authority figures. And so, and also like priests, they
Sure.
do the whole celibacy thing. They take the oath of celibacy.
Uh-huh.
And so, maybe like the interesting thing about the movie is there's a priest who kind of justifies himself in his action, like that he doesn't believe he did anything wrong. Like he was just doing like the like it's like a twisted justification, right? But it's a twisted situation. Yeah.
I don't get it. Like okay. Maybe this is something we should talk about because I have many questions like what they did, what the justification is,
We should watch the movie. They don't
and
really dive into the specifics of what they did. Like, are you talking about the abuse?
yeah, like how can any inappropriate sexual relationship with an adult and a kid be justified in a normal adult's head?
That's I don't think it's a normal adult,
Okay,
like a
okay.
predator like
No,
that,
but so
right?
these are crazy people. So if it's crazy people and they have okay, so they don't, it's not like, okay, so it's not like, oh, you know what, I feel like I'm called to the priesthood, and oh, whoops, my bad nature, bad things happen, but maybe it's bad people before, like they just saw a direct path to where they wanted to go, and this was one of the routes that was possible, you know what I'm saying? Like they choose, maybe predators choose to be priests instead of priests, sometimes they turn into predators. Eh,
I'm sure there's a little bit of both.
little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm sure because like think about the circumstance, right? So one of the things they talked about is like a priest showing extra care and attention to like a broken family. So like a boy whose dad might have passed away or something, like and with a single mother who's always working. So the priest gives extra attention to the a child to like kind of like take care of them. And like I guess there has to be something messed up in your head, a little bit messed up in your head to begin with. But when you're in a setting like that, in a very trusted setting, and you also have like this, maybe you also have like repressed sexual desires that can't be released because they're a priest. I don't know. Like I obviously I'm not one of those priests, so I can't justify it. And they don't really dive too deep into the justification of their actions in the movie. But that's kind of I'm just extrapolating from what I know of the possible justifications that they could give.
It's like
But
a chicken or the egg, which came first.
yeah, yeah. But I think that's beside the point, though. Like even still, like regardless of where the issue was stemming from,
Uh-huh.
um, it was allowed to kind of be proliferated in that setting because they didn't do it to stop it when it happened. You know what I mean? Like if in I don't know what's the different like teachers, right? Teacher abuse. Like if if the only thing that happened with as to a teacher that hit their students is that they just get moved to a different school, there's going to be way more incidences of teachers hitting students, right?
Yes.
Like the
Yeah.
consequences almost, I don't know if incentivize is the right term, but it it causes certain behaviors to grow beyond what it should be
You, you,
if there were
you
consequences in
think it's hard
place.
to become a priest?
I don't know. A good question.
Like, do they make good money? Like, what is there an incentive for? Like, so people become teachers because they need a job and they like teaching, maybe. But some people, I'm sure, they just do it because they need a a paycheck. And becoming teacher, I assume it's not like too hard, right? But I assume becoming priest is hard and just terrible pay is what I assume.
No, that's a good question. I don't know if it's terrible pay.
It's good pay,
Oh, I don't know
but
if it's a good pay,
you have to
but
choose a very like strict and structured and kind of annoying lifestyle, like a very. Hold on, let's see. What was I gonna type? Oh, how I'm asking ChatGPT how to become priest.
I think you have to go to seminary.
Several steps.
Yeah.
Depending on your cast. Okay. Discern your calling. Sure. Get so required education, bachelor's degree, and seminary training. So you do have to get a seminary degree. Apply to the something. You have to apply, and then you gotta go through background check, interviews, health assess. Okay, so a lot of things. There's a lot of barriers and a lot of things before you can become a priest. Uh, become before becoming a priest, you must become a transitional deacon. So that's like
Wait, so
six to
what? But why is that something that's interesting? Like, why are you trying to figure that out? How difficult it is?
well, I assume a good priest does it because they feel like they're called to do it, not because of a paycheck or even like a predator. I don't think a predator would try to become a priest because it seems like there's like you have to go to college, you have to go to seminary. It's like 10 years of study.
Mhm,
Plus like there's like a it's kind of like a after the seminary stuff, there's a lot of other stuff before you become officially a priest.
mhm.
The reason I'm on this line of thinking is because yeah, because before I thought maybe a crazy person would become a priest because they can go do some bad stuff, but it's like a giant barrier to entry.
Yeah,
And wait, let me see how
uh,
much. Wait, go ahead and talk. I'm gonna see how much a priest gets paid.
yeah. I think that I don't think there's a crazy guy who says I want to go like do stuff to some little kids, so let me become a priest like that. If there are cases like that, I'm sure that's a hyper minority.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but people who have probably with good intentions started out as priests and then they realize there's something broken in their head and they do something terrible.
Okay, these numbers are all over the place. I see 30K to 110K.
Mm.
Yeah. So wait. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we could assume people aren't trying to become priests for the glitz and glamour, right?
I mean, especially a Catholic priest, like becoming a pastor, I do think some people are drawn to that because you get a lot of attention. But a
Mm.
Catholic priest is like, yeah, because there's all those extra things you got to do. Like a
Yeah,
pastor at a church, you can just be pretty much a regular person. But a Catholic priest, you got to be like something else, something much more
yeah.
difficult. And yeah, so
You know, we have a American Pope now.
you think you think the ultimate goal of priests is to become the Pope, like
I
upward
mean, that's like the
mobility?
ultimate.
Uh,
That's like becoming a CEO, right?
I mean, if you become Pope, you're like adored and beloved.
You're remembered
Power,
forever.
yeah,
Like
remember, yeah,
they have a record of all the popes that
and
came
it's
before.
maybe easier to become a Pope than a CEO. I don't know. I don't know.
No, no
No
way,
way.
no way, no
I wonder
way.
how many people are competing for the position of Pope. Wait,
No, because no, think about no. There's only one pope. There's
yeah. In the whole
hundreds,
world,
if
yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah.
No, I'm sure there's tens of thousands of, if not hundreds of thousands if not millions, of CEOs in the world.
I don't get it. Like I wish I knew if there were. So I assume no. Like anyway, let's say like 5% of priests are just bad guys, or 2%, 1 or 2%. I don't know. Okay, something like that. So then
No, there's not.
mm,
Oh, go ahead.
let's say like ninety
I
nine
was gonna
percent of
say.
what?
Sorry, I was gonna say in the movie Spotlight, they actually say like there's a certain percentage of priests that exhibit this behavior, and then they kind of extrapolate out the number of suspected abusers based on that percentage. Yeah, so
I'm just trying to figure out how a person gets to that point, because I assume people who want to become priests, they like it, they are religious, and they feel like they're called to it, because it's not an easy thing. You're choosing a very I think humans generally they chase after incentives, and also they walk roads of least resistance, right? Paths of least resistance. And a priest, it goes against human nature, I feel like. So then why after being religious, feeling like you're called to this job, and then somehow some people, the environment that they go through, it culminates in very serious heinous crimes, you know? Is it because of the strictness of like the having to like abstain from all these different things, and it just riles
I
people up? Yeah.
I would assume, yeah, because of that, that has to be a major part of it, right? They have to abstain from a lot of different things,
Hmm.
so they justify in their head, oh, this isn't technically that thing.
Oh, like
And I don't know, like
legalism. Like they do bad
yeah,
things,
like
but
and then
yeah.
kind of like in a twisted way justifying, well, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, like I
uh,
no, I think the in like again, like in the movie Spotlight,
hmm.
there's a priest that justifies his behavior in a very like twisted way, but in a very self-unaware way. You know, like he truly believes that his justification is legitimate,
Yeah.
but like it's it's not legitimate at all because of what that thing is. You know,
I can't I can't imagine living a life like that, because it seems extremely difficult and dangerous, because I do think it will break people like pretty easily.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry, I just looked it up. In the movie Spotlight, the guy who's like researching this estimates like it's about 6% of priests in
That's
the
a ton.
US.
That's a ton.
Yeah,
That's a big
that is
number.
a huge
Wait,
number.
so how many priests are there in America?
I don't know, but in the movie, I think I don't know what the search parameters were, but they found like 70 cases of priests that get moved around, and they kind of investigate those things. And yeah, it was, I think the ultimate number was 70 incidences,
Wait, are
which is way too much.
only 50% of priests celibate? I don't know. Okay. It's I see.
Anyways, this is a, why do we always end up in these like
You
dark
brought it
spots?
up.
Oh, okay. The other movie you should watch on Prime, on Amazon Prime, is Conclave. It's a fascinating movie about how they select the new pope once, like when a pope dies, and kind of all the politics that goes behind it. I don't think Catholics like that movie very much. It's not really flattering to Catholics, but
Well, I wasn't
it's
listening.
interesting.
What's this about?
A movie called Conclave. No, you
Okay.
know what Conclave is, right?
No.
It's when they like the bishops and everything, everyone they kind of get together to decide who the new pope is going to be once the current one
Hey man,
dies.
are you trying to change religions? Why are you watching so many Catholic movies?
Well, Spotlight is not a Catholic movie. It's
It's
a,
what?
it's it's not favorable to Catholics, and Conclave is also not very. It doesn't put Catholics in a good light.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah,
why are you watching these kinds of movies right now?
I just no. I'm not watching these movies now. I'm just a person who
Oh,
watches a lot of movies, and these are movies that are related to the topic we're talking about.
okay.
I'm just saying because there's a new pope. It's interesting, right?
Oh, how they choose the pope?
Yeah.
I can't make sense of any of these numbers. Like 30,000, 40,000 priests in America right now. That seems like a low number. And there's different like kinds. I don't know. Let's say there's 50K. 50K, 6% is what? 3,000? Is that right? Oh, thank you for
Dang.
listening. Have a good
Bye.